Okay, Brent Smith, BRENTSMITH, CYA Benefits. What's my title? I don't.
Executive Vice President.
Executive Vice President, CYA Benefits.
Okay.
And that's spelled CYA.
The letter, 3 letters.
Yeah.
Cap plan.
Well, I was introduced to the CAP plan right after I had sold my last business, and it was introduced to me by a close friend of mine who was a state director for a large supplemental insurance company. He sat down with me and showed me what the CAP plan could do for employers and employees. As you know, a former business owner, I was always looking for ways to improve my benefit package for people, and always looking for ways to save tax dollars. He didn't need to explain it to me twice. I got it right away and got involved.
This is where
Okay. Well, how did I get Greg and Phil involved? Well, you know, the first thing that I did, you know, entrepreneurs run together, and so the first thing that I did was started sharing the idea with friends of mine, close friends of mine who were also entrepreneurs, because I figured they'd get it too. Phil Young was actually one of the first guys I talked to about it. Phil sat down, and just like me, the light bulb went off. He got it right away, and that's when he called Greg. And then the three of us got together and decided we'd try to move forward with this to share it with the world. Well, you know, as you know, entrepreneurs, we run together, and we decide the first thing I wanted to do was get input on what I was seeing and what I was thinking with other guys that I love and respect that are also have good business minds. So first thing that I did is I went to guys like Greg and Phil and said, hey, this is what I see. Do you see the same thing? Well, the first thing that, you know, Phil told me was, A, how do I get my company involved, and B, how do I personally get involved? And Greg, same thing. So, you know, it's if you get it, you get it. It doesn't take a whole lot of introspection to understand that this is something that's been mutually beneficial to everybody involved. So it was a pretty easy conversation to have with those guys.
What were you like? Oh yeah.
Well, I had seen the presentation a few times. I had gotten to understand the product.
Answer the question.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I guess what stood out in your mind?
What stood out
with the presentation?
Well, what stood out in my first
Give me a clean start.
Yeah.
Okay, and look over here.
Okay.
And go.
Well, what stood out in my first meeting with Phil was, you know, I was looking for some reinforcement, some positive reinforcement as to, you know, maybe hopefully these guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And, you know, very soon into the conversation that I had with Phil about it, I could see the light bulb go off right over his head. It almost made the room brighter. And so right away, you know, I thought I knew then I was onto something. Right. Well, so was there ever a moment of hesitation, or how was I full steam ahead or not? Well, you know, in my mind, you know, as an entrepreneur, once you lock in on something, you're full steam ahead. But there's always a bit of hesitation, because remember, I got involved in this at its genesis. I mean, nobody had heard about this before. So sometimes things you can almost think that maybe you're seeing it, but nobody else is going to see it. So my only hesitation was, you know, is everybody going to see what I'm seeing? And it's been pretty consistent, you know, over the years now that people are seeing what I'm seeing. You can't fix stupid. We all know that. But you know, there is going to be, you know, plenty of folks that do get it. I don't know if we should keep the you can't fix stupid part, but you can't fix stupid.
Oh. It's a story. I want you to hit it right between the eyes.
Well, my first concern, it's always been my only concern with CAP, was, you know, the actual company administrating the plan. You know, I wasn't real confident in their ability to execute on just the simple blocking and tackling of administering a plan. And so that's one of the reasons I've started to move away from it a little bit, because I didn't have a lot of confidence in those guys. The reason I'm back involved in it, because I have supreme confidence in the guys that are going to be doing the blocking and tackling on the back end now. And that's Greg and Phil and the guys at CYA.
You're not saying this is Brent Smith. This is
Right.
my bio. Okay.
Well, I've always been on the business side of my life. I've always been an entrepreneur, and I've always been looking for a way to leverage finances, leverage people, and leverage my relationships, you know, for the betterment of others. You know, I've started and sold several businesses. Most notably, I was the founder and president of a firm called A&I Direct. We're an information security firm. Sold that business in 2009, and right soon after that is when I found the Cypress Advantage plan and started to talk to my partners here about the advantages of it, and that's why we decided to get into this business.
Start again.
See, okay. I'm a proud graduate of the University of North Texas, class of 1991. I've got two beautiful kids, one boy, one girl. One of the things I'm most proud of is all my lifelong relationships that I've got, including the guys that I'm in business with today. Most of the friends that I've got, I've known for 20, 25 years. That might date me a little bit, but that's one of the things I'm most proud of.
That'll work.
To the CAP plan.
I was introduced to the CAP plan by a good friend of mine, Brent Smith. He had called me and said that there was a really new, innovative product in the insurance world that he wanted me to take a look at. He thought it'd be a huge benefit for my company. I own a large chain of alcohol and drug rehabilitation clinics here in Dallas, and he thought it would be really beneficial not only for my employees, but for me as an employer. So I told him I would love to take a look at it.
And what was your first impression of the product? Your impression of the product?
My impression of the product, actually, it was that it was too good to be true. The reason it seemed like that was because my employees were able to get benefits at no cost to them. Me as an employer was able to realize tax savings from my tax dollars, and it was, in my experience, anything that sounds too good to be true is. My CPA blew me, and I thought that was already. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, just like that. Just yeah, can you put a head bouncing? All right, go ahead. Answer it. There you go, Daddy. All right.
To start with, what changed my mind was.
Yeah, what changed my mind was my CPA blew me.
Yeah, what changed your mind and why?
What changed my mind and why? Well, I have my experts take a look at it. I have my HR department tear it apart. I have my tax attorney vet it, and I have my CPA delve into all the tax implications. And they came back and said, in their opinion, it was compliant with all of the IRS Section 125 and 165 tax codes, and that I should go with it. And the benefits for me since then have been that my employees are now getting no-cost benefits for them, and I'm saving tax dollars as an employer. It's been a win-win.
That's what I was looking for. See where I noticed
Yeah.
I just didn't see.
Yeah, I did. I started.
Yeah, and
Making your own business.
So when did I decide to build a business around this?
Yes.
I have been looking for some new venture to work on. I've had my rehab clinics for 20 years and was looking for a new project to focus on, and Brent Smith knew this, so when he brought me this Cypress Advantage plan, he brought it to me not only as a business owner, but also as a potential product to build a new business around. So what determined for me that I was going to build a business around it was, well, if I'm going to do that, let me implement it at my company first and make sure it does everything it says it does. So when the enrollment went just as it was preached to me or explained to me, and the benefits began immediately for my employees, and I started saving tax dollars immediately. I saw that the plan worked just like they said, and was so impressed with it that I decided to build a business around it.
Into starting a brokerage, CYA benefits.
All right, for the way the transition to me to agent to brokerage was the obvious first step. If I'm going to promote this product, is I need to get licensed as an insurance agent. So I did that and was trying to decide if I just wanted to be an independent agent and make my own hours without all of the responsibilities of starting a brokerage. My first sale, though, first customer that I took this to was a large staffing company here in the Dallas area, and they loved the CAP plan, implemented it in their company, and are now rolling it out to all the companies that they represent. And after I saw that, how much they loved the product as well, I thought I'd be crazy not to start a brokerage around this and really take it to the next level. So then that's when actually, the next step then is I have a good friend, had a good friend, Greg Carter, a buddy of mine who's up in New York City. So called him and started talking about the possibility of us doing something together in the brokerage. He has a background in the insurance world, which I did not, so I wanted to consult with him. And he knew about the CAP product from previous and had been kind of following me along in my whole vetting of the product, and even before that in my search to start a new company, and he was always interested in what was my next venture going to be. And so all of a sudden, here's a product that's in his realm of expertise. So I thought, well, heck, maybe he'd want to come on board with me. I mean, he could be there in New York, I'd be in Dallas. Man, we'd have two offices right off the bat. And And the more we talked, the more excited we got about it, and that's how eventually we ended up with Carter Young and Associates.
When was your aha moment?
My aha moment, that would have been 3 weeks after we implemented the CAP plan at my clinics. My clinical director for one of my units, I had taken the accident policy as one of her policies through the CAP plan that she would not have had otherwise. And her son was in a bad auto accident. Had to be care flighted to the hospital, multiple MRIs, things of that nature. And over the forthcoming months, she had many out-of-pocket medical expenses that she would have had to pay out of her own pocket had it not been for the accident plan. And it actually reimbursed her thousands and thousands of dollars that she couldn't have afforded otherwise. And of course, all this going on during a very traumatic time in her life, this additional financial burden would have just been catastrophic. So we saw right off the bat how much the CAP plan could benefit our employees. And the employees now know it. There's lore in my company now about how great the CAP plan is because of how much it benefited someone in a really critical time at my company. Yeah. All right. In college, I had decided I was going to be an entrepreneur. I dropped out of engineering school, changed to business school, and tried to get a restaurant, open a hamburger restaurant. But nobody was going to give a 19-year-old kid with no restaurant experience $250,000 to start a business. So I took a job out of college. It turned out that I'd been fired from every job I ever had, so I realized that the only way I was ever going to be able to keep a job was if I was my own boss. So I started a computer company back in the early 90s, and from that I've become a serial entrepreneur. So I now own a chain. It's the largest chain of alcohol and drug rehabilitation clinics, outpatient only, in the state of Texas, and I have various other interests in commercial real estate and now obviously insurance. And I have been involved in oil and gas, telecommunications, just also real estate of all types. And now I'm focused on CYA and devoting all of my time and energy towards it.
In your personal life?
Well, I'm happily single. I have a beautiful son that is the light of my life. I'm a very healthy, athletic person. I like to stay fit, so a lot of my spare time is spent exercising. And then I like to give back to the community in that I'm involved with EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, a nonprofit group that helps to support entrepreneurship around the world. I'm on the global board for EO at the moment, and I get a lot of value out of helping other folks to further their businesses, and what knowledge I have that can help them, I like to try and give back that way.
And before you get going, tell me your first, last name.
Greg Carter, or
Spell your first, last name.
GREG-CARTER.
And your company.
Company is CYA Benefits, Carter Young and Associates, and I'm the CEO.
Okay. And I'm rolling anytime you're ready.
All right, don't forget to read. You find out about the CAP plan.
I was introduced to the CAP plan by Brent Smith. Brent has just sold his software company and was looking for a new career, a new venture. And I looked at the product and thought the product was very innovative. It was transcendent, I'd say would be a better word for that. But we needed to test it to see if it would go and vet through the entire process. I have a very good friend, my best friend, is Phil Young, and Phil Young owns a chain of drug rehabilitation centers that has employees that would be a perfect fit. So I told Brent he should talk to Phil and see if we could use him as a beta test. My first impression of the CAP plan was it was perfect timing for a product like this. In an ever-decreasing coverage of insurance and ever-increasing cost, it's a product that actually fits perfectly in our time and our economy and what's happening with the Affordable Care Act. It's a product that's needed for companies now.
Yeah, that nailed it right there.
There you go.
Is that good?
Just cut. As you know, you can go on for hours.
Ever.
Talking, so make sure you're cutting.
Just
once
when you
get
do
it,
it.
stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't feel
Yeah.
free to hit that.
This shouldn't be after I've had a bunch of drinks and I've cornered one of you talking to me.
The more you say, the more you.
This is after I've had a few drinks and cornered one of you guys talking for an hour.
That's awesome.
You should see him back in college when X was legal.
Hold on. Start on the fence, on the start, down below on the fence. Grab a rail. Grab a rail, see the corner.
He could have won the world champion talker contest of the world.
There's a lot of words to get in every day. A
All
lot.
right, so what do we, next question then, you want to talk about young and CYA benefits?
Well, I decided to partner with Phil because Phil's my best friend for over 20 years. A serial entrepreneur. I started several businesses, so what better partner to have and what better product to have? Cap Plan was a transcendent product. I had not seen anything like it, and it was perfect timing for the product. I had a full Rolodex in New York that we could call and show them this great opportunity.
There you go.
Okay, very good.
All right,
All right.
so Greg, what was your aha moment?
My aha moment was when Phil's clinical director son had an accident, and it affected her life. It saved her financially.
Good, regarding the Cap Plan.
No, I never had any hesitation at all about the Cap Plan. I knew it was a product that was transcendent, that needed to be fix it as we go, because nobody's ever done it before. I never had any hesitation or concern about the Cap Plan. I knew this product was transcendent and needed to be taken to market immediately.
There we go. That makes sense.
All right. I have 14 years experience as an entrepreneur. My first business was in insurance in Dallas, Texas. I transitioned to legal services and had locations in Dallas, Texas and Denver, Colorado. In 2007, I worked with one of the largest legal service bureaus in New York City, and that transition was exciting. In October of 2012, we started CYA Benefits, Carter Young & Associates, and that's what we're doing now.
Tell us about your personal life.
I love to spend time with my family and friends. I love to travel with those family and friends. I collect glass art, hand-blown signature glass art, like Dale Chihuly. I love to go to sporting events. The Dallas Cowboys and New York Yankees and are my favorite teams. I'm a Longhorn fan, of course, hook 'em. And I enjoy a good meal every once in a while. So I don't know. What else?
You didn't say your big brother thing, I can get back.
I enjoy spending time with my family and friends. I enjoy traveling with my family and friends. I collect signature glass art like Dale Chihuly or James Nowak. And I'm part of the Big Brothers Big Sisters program.
Bingo.